Hello and welcome to the 2020 Accelerating Latino Student Success ALASS Institute. I'm Sarita Brown, President of Excelencia in Education, and we're so pleased that you are making time in your busy schedule to join us. This is a day that we have thought hard about, designed with efficiency and effectiveness in mind, and it's a bit of an experiment for us, an experiment that probably most of you have already conquered, and that is going virtual. This is our first time doing this, and we have great enthusiasm. Hopefully you're finding the experience to be one where you're connecting with each other, and we want you to do that throughout the day. To be able to take everything that the Excelencia team knows how to do in person and move it into a virtual platform quickly means that not only we do everything we know how to do, but we do a lot more. And so this year in particular, we are enormously grateful to those who have invested in our cause, which is accelerating Latino student success in higher education, and specifically who, when they knew we were going to keep going, because there was a moment when we actually hesitated about offering ALASS because we're so used to doing it in person. We said no, we would do it virtually. So what you see before you are those who have stepped forward to support this effort. I want to call them out because they deserve a shout out. The Strata Education Network, they are a mighty organization that has a great deal of focus on not only college completion, but what comes afterwards, a theme that we're going to be touching on throughout the day. The National Student Clearinghouse, they're known for their data, and they are in fact the supporters of the work that we are going to be offering to you on data. Ad Astra, one of our newest in the family, if you will, who has been with us in several different formats, the Greater Texas Foundation, the Trellis Foundation, and our long-standing partners from Diverse Issues in Higher Education. Were we all in each other's company, I'd be asking, let's give them a round of applause. But instead, I don't know, those of you who want to, you can do an emoji or something like that. But truly, we are seeking virtually to do the same things that we do all the time. And it was with that in mind that as the team, Deborah Santiago, our co-founder and CEO, and I and the team thought about, how do we kick this off, ALASS? How do we do it in this year, 2020? A year like none of us has ever experienced. We decided that what we should do is go to the core. And the core is captured by the subtitle of this session, that our cause is greater than graduation. What you were seeing is a video that captures something that we did in response to the ache that we heard in the voices of professionals who support Latino graduates. When they were confronting the college graduates of 2020 not having a commencement like we normally do, what we did was come together, not only all of us, but everyone you're seeing. Leaders in elected officials, presidents of colleges and universities, people in foundations from across the country came together and they said, we see you, college graduates. We know that you are persevering through this year and that you and your future are what we work for. We want more of you to graduate. What you are seeing is the strength of commitment from across the country that cares about this cause. Maria Hinojosa spoke to a group of students who were in the process of graduating.
The Excelencia is already you.
A Among the people that you just saw is a young lady that I now want to introduce. Theresa Correa was one of the people featured in that video, and she now will tell us what her life has been like since June of 2020 when she received her degree. Theresa.
Good morning, everyone. Like Sarita said, my name is Theresa Correa. It's a pleasure to be back here today. Last time I was here, I had the honor of speaking with Maria Hinojosa and some other wonderful 2020 graduates that have gone through the same challenge we all have through COVID-19. It's an understatement to say that COVID has had an impact on all our lives. Personally, obviously, we all know graduations were canceled. Mine was canceled. I wasn't able to celebrate my 21st birthday. I wasn't able to tour different law schools that I had different interests in before having to commit to a deadline. And I moved to an entirely new city without having ever visited. Never even been close to Wisconsin before I moved here. And even through all that, I'm definitely one of the lucky ones. My family and loved ones are safe. I'm attending law school with in-person classes. And so far, I'm loving Milwaukee. And while definitely challenging, these past few weeks as a 1L at Marquette have been incredible. My professors have been incredibly informative and helpful, understanding with the situation that's going on. The law school is gorgeous, and although I only really know my classmates from about 6 feet away with masks on, they've been really great as well. And I'm absolutely in love with Milwaukee, my school, and the future. And I think it's important to recognize all that in the middle of so much uncertainty. But reflecting back on these past few months, it's not an overstatement that 2020 will definitely be one that will be remembered for many years to come. Not just for me on a personal level with graduation and the beginning of this new chapter, but with the immense shifts that we've all felt on life as we used to know it. COVID-19, protests, election year. These are all events that have affected us differently, but nevertheless have and will continue to affect all of us. Graduating college has opened my eyes, and the events of 2020 even more so. Being a college-educated Latina woman, it's easy to see the responsibility not just on my shoulders, but on all of ours. The upcoming election is less than 40 days away, and I think it's crucial that all our voices are heard in order to ensure this better, brighter future, not just for ourselves, but the ones that Excelencia Education is trying to build for everyone coming after us. And I truly have high hopes in the upcoming months that things will get better. Obviously, in that lies hope that all of us will do our part in taking responsibility, precaution, and wearing our masks. But I just want to say thank you again for having me here today. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to talk to all of you again. Sarita, Deborah, thank you so much for working with me and inviting me back. It's honestly a pleasure. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Theresa. And when she is saying Deborah, she may be saying Deborah, or she may be saying Deborah, because Deborah Menur is a member of the Excelencia team. She is, in fact, her own graduation person, and you'll see throughout the Whova platform profiles of those who were featured, but all of them are just a part of what gets us up in the morning, what keeps us focused, and what inspires us to figure out this uncharted path through these circumstances, to continue to meet them where they are so that they get to where they seek to go. This opening session, yes, it is designed to remind us all why we do this work. It is also to display that even if we are connecting in this kind of format, which is not one-on-one, but it is in this kind of technologically enhanced or dependent format, the cause remains the same. In putting this agenda together, we looked at the issues of today, and we looked at what it is that Excelencia in Education is well prepared to present and engage in. We'll start the day by looking at how to grow examples of Excelencia. We hope many of you were with us last night as we had the Celebración de Excelencia, and you were able to hear the 4 that are in the programs that were recognized and all of the finalists. That we also have the focus on scale in many dimensions. And here in Washington, D.C., when we talk about scale, that means how do you take a good idea and make sure as many people as you can get supported and impacted. In this case, we are looking at state leadership, and we're very pleased to have 2 commissioners of higher education with us. We also tapped on our partners, and our partners are vast. Among them is an organization, AAC&U. They are an organization that we work with in a multitude of ways, and they have been the home base for an effort that seemed almost providential. The name of what they do is called Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation. That's something we're all talking about. And so their effort, supported by a foundation and engaging some of the campuses that we work with that are led by Presidents for Latino Student Success, is a session that's being presented. Of course, we're going to talk about institutional leadership. That's been one of the sources of momentum for all the work that we do. Hispanic serving institutions. This is a topic for everyone who is in higher education, but it is particularly an important topic in Washington, D.C., as people are framing the question of Latino student success and asking, where do you turn? And it is a topic of enormous strength for Excelencia in Education, because we quite literally have the national expert on Hispanic serving institutions, Deborah Santiago. Since I won't be the person introducing her for her session, I'm going to say it now. She has been the person who has tracked the concept of HSI even before the legislation was passed. And this year is the 25th anniversary of HSIs. So understanding what's been done, what's accomplished, but also what can be done now and going forward is going to be the focus of this session. And then finally, we have the data session using intentionality, because that's what Excelencia is about, intentionality and data. And then we all come back together, Deborah and I, we will be joined by our board chair to talk about how all of us together do this work, and by doing this work together, we ensure America's future.